Hello everybody and welcome to my very first draft league battle. This will be week 1 versus the Toronto Great Tusks. I am Not Quite Paz, coach of your Toronto Punk Rock, and I'm going to just give a quick team builder here before we start. So first things first, we got Magnezone. It's EV to live a bunch of different hits with its Assault Vest item. It's got enough special attack on it that is pretty much able to two-shot everything on the team. Steel Beam is on here alongside the normal options here. I have Destruct because I want Paras, and Steel Beam Oko's Great Tusk. Typically we don't need to click that because we want to keep this thing nice and healthy so it can live hits from stuff like the Greninja, the Torn T, and all of his especially offensive threats, but I do have it set here just in case things get out of hand. We have our Bombi here, Bijan Lames, standard Focus Sash Quiver Dance set, Pollen Puff instead of Bug Buzz this week because we want to still be able to hit Hisuian Electrode through Soundproof if it decides not to Terra. For super effective damage. We also have Sticky Web, which we might not. We have Sticky Web and QD. Sticky Web we're pretty much always going to use. It's a really big help for the team unless he has Malamar, which did not come that much versus me during mocks. And we have Quiver Dance because his team is pretty fairy weak. And when you have a fairy weak team, something like a Quiver Dancing fairy type is going to be really effective. Latios is a weakness policy set this week. And it's a weakness policy agility with mixed earthquake. Mixed earthquake allows me to be able to hit Hisuian Pulpish for super effective damage, which we can't do otherwise. It also hits gholdengo, which is a nice thing. We have Luster Purge because it's solid, consistent stab damage, the best against anything that's like neutral. And then we have Thunderbolt here. This league's main goal is to revenge kill a Greninja. We live any sort of specs or +1 battlebound Scarf Greninjas, which is really what we're worried about. So like, we're worried about Scarf Greninja with Purdian, or we're worried about Specs Battlebond Greninja, and this is pretty much able to handle that no matter what. If it's not Scarf, we're able to like kill it with most of our stuff, especially with webs, but if it is a Scarf set, this is a really good answer to this policy agility, which allows us to reverse sweep the majority of his team, or at least kill 2 to 3 mons. Blobby here, the Quagsire, unaware. It just stops stuff like Greninja, once again. And we have Citrus Berry to better live hits from Great Tusk pre-Terra. Ice Beam, Self-Recover Body Press. Rock's really nice in this matchup. Just allows stuff like Magnezone to get more damage off, Latios to sweep better, Palafin to sweep better, and allow our mons to chip away faster. Hold on a second. It's here. Alright. And it's pretty much set up to defensively tank stuff. Ice Beam, a lot of his team is Ice Weak, so just having Ice Beam is good, and Body Press to once again beat Greninja. It's just very scary this week. And then Recover, obviously, to keep alive. Terra Steel, this allows us, Greninja likes to carry Grass Knot, so you can surprise it with a nice Terra Steel on that Grass Knot. It allows us to live pretty much anything, unaware, ignoring the Battle Bond boosts, and then we kill with a Body Press as long as it's not Protean. Palafin, we have a Choice Band set this week. I was originally going to bring Punching Glove, but I really just like the solid damage output that we can do with Choice Band and Jet Punch. And by solid, I mean like ridiculous. Like, it's just a priority move that we could spam versus pretty much anything here. And that type of priority, it's just like, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it does pretty much 50% to a Hisuian Electrode and Greninja. So I just liked it better as if something was like low, we could always pick them off. And then Drain Punch and Ice Punch are there along with Flip Turn. Flip Turn just gives us, you know, pivoting. And then Drain Punch and Ice Punch are two of our best options to hit things. Drain Punch for like Greninja, Ice Beam for, like I said, or Ice Punch because Ice really good against like the Dragonite and the Great Tusk and the Torn, even though we have Water for Great Tusk. I still like Ice Punch a lot. And then we have Tumbleweed, our Bramble Guest here, completely Fizz Def. Fizz Def to deal with that Great Tusk. This is probably our best Great Tusk answer. It's also a spin blocker, so we can keep webs and rocks up. Alright, game's about to get in here. But yeah, Strength Sap to heal up against anything. Spikes support's really nice. Poltergeist is our best stab spammer. And then Heavy Duty Boots, so we can pretty much stay as healthy as possible. Our defensive investment means that we always live a Great Tusk Ice Spinner, even if it is Choice Band, as well as Knockoff, and then we can Strength Sap. And yeah, so that's going to be the team this week. Good luck to my opponent, Kenneth. And let's get right into the battle here. So, I believe it's no, it's this one, duh. The, week 1. Okay, cool. Let's start. Alright, so first things first here, we do... No Greninja is huge. Greninja was a big problem for this team, so not seeing Greninja is really nice. Not seeing Torn T is fine. Screamtail is a problem in mocks, but really only alongside Greninja. And then we have stuff like the Hisuian Quillfish, which we have prepared for, and then he has Hisuian Electrode. I was more worried about a Terra Magmortar versus this team, so this is fine for me. So I'm just gonna always lead Rabombi here, is going to be my play. And we immediately see this thing, Hisuian Quillfish, which is fine. We face this quite a bit in our mocks. He's probably going to set up Toxic Spikes. We do have Salazzle as a grounded poison as an option in our team, but it wasn't too good into this matchup. So there was a lot of Toxic Spike versus Yusa's team, and we do see just Barbarage immediately. This is fine. Fairy Spam is not that actually good versus this team. I mean, it's solid, but he's got stuff like Defensive Screamtail and Gholdengo that could beat it. So immediately what we do here is just to make sure he doesn't go for another poison move. If he wants to set up Toxic's, perfect. Something like this was a decently common scenario. What we do in this case is we just immediately Volt Switch. Actually, he could, in this scenario, go Tusk. So Flash Cannon's not a bad option because it hits pretty much everything anyways. With Analytic, Flash Cannon does about 80% to uninvested Tusk. Okay, so he's just going to set up spikes, and he is not very defensively invested at all. It's a very offensive Hisuian Quillfish. So if he wants to go Tusk immediately after this, we always go Brambleghast, and then we get our spin. Or we Poltergeist, actually. We'll get there when we get there. For now, yeah, here we go. Okay, Boots Tusk, and it is Super Spidef. That is an extremely specially defensive Tusk, which I did not see much in, like, any mocks, but Flash Cannon always did, like, I almost saw offensive Tusk, so I'm not super afraid of this, actually. I can go Brambleghast here. It tanks pretty much everything. This is why Brambleghast is here. Rapid Spin, we're going to block that, and we want to go for Poltergeist immediately here, because we just don't want him going Gholdengo. But at this point in the game, okay, he actually goes Quillfish Hisui. It's just like maybe Fizdef, because we only use specially defensive attacks against it. It is. Okay, perfect. So I can get a Rapid Spin off here. I don't really care if he wants to go gold. Yeah, this is kind of the exact things that we were talking about. Barbarage now. He does get the poison, which is a tiny bit unfortunate, but we can go Zone here, and we were able to effectively keep hazards off the ground for the most part, and we can definitely still remove them. Tumbler Beat switches in really easily against like this entire team. He does not have anything to really smack it versus except for that Gholdengo, which gets hit by a Poltergeist really hard. So early game here, I'm feeling really good. Loving Magnezone in this game. Magnezone was so good in like every single mock it was ran in. Just that AV Magnezone being able to tank a hit from pretty much everything, and then Analytic to dish out hits. Plus it gave us very like important information. Like we know that that Tusk is basically full defensive, and that there's no speed on that. So because we know there's no speed, that means there's like relatively low risk to like hitting any buttons on like anything. And then comes Dragonite. Okay, Dragonite carries Earthquake a lot of the time, so you're going to go pretty much into I don't want to overuse Brambleghast yet because I could still need to spin later because he saved the Quillfish. So I think I just want to go Clodsire here. I'm not super worried about a Dragon Dance set because Claude is unaware, and we carry Ice Beam on it for this type of scenario. No Greninja's really throwing me off. There were a couple of mocks where I saw no Greninja, and I was pretty fine versus that very end of the team. Cool, so I want to get Rocks up now. That'll punish the Hisuian Quillfish more, and generally, because he's switching a lot, so getting Rocks up is pretty big right now. I maybe could have gotten Spikes up actually earlier with Brambleghast, but I think this is fine. I don't know what type of variant he's running on this, but he is Earthquake, doing very little, so I don't know how offensive this thing is. Right off the bat, I'm seeing this is a pretty bulk-oriented team. Okay, I want to go Mag here. Mag is still at full HP and handles this pretty easy. Yeah, Stealth Rock's okay, so we could Stealth Rock is interesting. Flash Cannon is once again really free here. I think Tusk. Yeah, no, I like having Mag around a lot here. And we basically just click Flash Cannon again here for free. I'm looking, this is probably a sweeper gholdengo, the way that he is not bringing it in and, like, risking anything with it. Okay. With that thing being dead... Alright, this thing's, once again, boots. We just go this, Ramblegast here, and then I think we just strength sack, probably? Yep, knock off. We're gonna die to poison, so the rocks are gonna be up for the rest of the game, which is unfortunate. Rabombi, 16.5%. Let me just... No, I don't think it has the rocks. Either way here, we should outspeed with Latios and be able to just click a Lesser Purge here. And considering there's no Greninja, there's a chance we actually just sweep on a hit from gholdengo. And we've killed the Hisuian Quillfish, which is one of the biggest things that stops it. Okay, perfect. Screamtail still does stop it, actually. But we have a really good Screamtail switch, and he goes Dragonite here. And Dragonite reveals Boots as well. Okay. We're just gonna go Quag. There's a Dragon Claw. We're going to have our Citrus Berry heal us back above full here. I think I just toss off an Ice Beam here. But so far, this is not exactly like the team that I was expecting from my opponent here, but so far I don't know how he really breaks some of our bonds. I mean, I do want to get Palafin out soon, because I think we're getting towards the point where once Dragonite takes some damage, Choice Banded Jet Punch is going to be able to rip through pretty much everything. So yeah, here comes the Screamtail. Yeah, okay, so this thing, last time it just Stealth Rocked. Once again, I don't want to take any unnecessary damage, so I'm just going Mag here. And with Tusk dead, I'm actually going to go for a Discharge to attempt to get a Paralysis off on something. If we get a Para off on Dragonite here, that's absolutely huge. We do not, unfortunately. I don't think there's really any point into keeping around Rabombi at this point. So I think I can sack it and then immediately go for... Oh, wait, no, he might go for DD. Still, I think the best play is to sack this thing, because even if he wants to Dragon Dance, which he does, we could just go Blobby. And I recover here. There's not much you could do. Dragonite, or Dragon Claw we saw earlier did about 37%. 30% actually, and we are at 61%. We have Recover, we have Ice Beam, and we are unaware. And I could save the Terra Steel until after this thing is dead so that I don't take extra damage from Earthquake. So yeah, Dragon Claw doing 29 on the unaware here. We are going to get a free Ice Beam off. He might have been expecting Water Absorb with some sort of Gren counter. He's just going Dragon Dance again, so maybe he, for whatever reason, doesn't realize I'm unaware. Which means I'm fine with me. I'm just going to click another Ice Beam here. Ice Beam's going to do a lot more here because, yeah, Hisuian Quillfish. Interesting. Hisuian Electrode. This is going to do a lot. You get a crit, which is really nice. This is another free switch into Mag. Nothing he can do to Magnezone at all. So our defensive core here of Magnezone and Quagsire are basically preventing him from doing anything here. So as long as we just keep our positioning here, I don't see any way he'll be able to break us. And there's the Volt switch. Okay. Anything he switches into here is in a pretty rough position. I'm assuming we have to see Dragonite come out, but Dragonite just doesn't do anything to my team. We see gholdengo. Okay, this is one of the reasons I really wanted to keep Mag around. We don't take like much from this. Even if it's a Focus Blast, we should kill with like a Discharge into Discharge. So this is where we just click Discharge. He is Focus Blast, but okay. Come on, get a Para, get a Para, get a Para. Yup, okay, this happened all the time in Mox. I now outspeed. And considering that 60 damage, Volt Switch actually kills. So I can preserve this, and if he wants to switch. So I'm gonna click Volt Switch every single time here. This is exactly what we wanted out of Magnezone. Perfect, okay. Considering how low HP the Dragonite is at this point, Screamtail's still too high, actually. So now I think what I actually do is I go Palafin, and if he decides to go for the Dragonite here, we can just instantly double, and that allows Palafin to Jet Punch, which at this point should kill both the Hisuian Electrode, which has Terra Fairy'd, and the Scream Tail from this percent, as long as Scream Tail's not like full bulk. Ooh, wait, so we get the flip turn here, actually. We should outspeed now that it's under the webs. Yes, perfect. Okay, so we get a little extra damage. Rocky Helmet is interesting. At this point, I go Mag, even if we die here. And he does set up Light Screen, which is fine with me. I will just quick Flash Cannon, and we probably get a kill on something here. We probably outslow this, so we probably get our analytic boost no matter what, because Screamtail is quite fast, even if it's under webs. We're not running any speed investment on the Magnezone so that we can get these analytic boosts here. It's interesting, because we're just, a lot of my mocks, I was able to make, like, reads that allowed me to, yeah, and there it is. That's going to be, what's that slowing here? We could sack this now. We no longer need it, I think. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for Steel Beam here on... Oh, and we get a perfect switch on this D-Dance. Okay, that's looking like Choice Banded Jet Punch range. And I think with that, we should win our Week 1 battle 3-0. Oh, Extreme Speed. Shoot, how did I forget about that? We do kill, though. Woo! Alright. I think we would have won with Latios at this point anyways, but it's fine. Thank God for, or even just Clag. Yeah. GG is what we're getting. I could have won with Terra Steel Quag in the back. But yeah, so we are going to get our win here, Week 1 against Kenneth. Really good games, yeah. GG's. I had a lot of fun prepping against this team. This team was definitely one of the more difficult ones to prep against. Just with all of the threats that he had at his disposal. But I had a great time prepping. We were able to come out 1-0 in our very first week of Draft League battle, or 3-0 rather, in our very first week of Draft League battle. And yeah, awesome. Magnezone pretty much did its thing the entire battle. Palafin came in and cleaned it up, as it's going to do a lot. We were able to keep Toxic Spikes off the field, and Bravampi's webs pretty much mattered that entire battle. So yeah, good games to my opponent. Thank you all for watching, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll be back next week. See ya.